Welcome to Wild West Garage. My name's Morgan, and that is a 2016 Dodge Ram 1500 with an Eco Diesel in it, and it's got the service throttle control message on the dash. So let's dive into this.
So there you go, service electronic throttle control. And it also has this little symbol down here, which I think is the same thing. And the check engine light's on. Okay, I've got the Xtool D8, and while we're at it, maybe we'll do a little bit of a review on this thing. Thing I don't like about this tool, or one of the things I don't like about this tool, is it's really hard to turn on sometimes. It just doesn't want to turn on. It's really weird. There's a button up here to turn it on, and sometimes it comes on with a couple, like just a quick push, and other times you got to hold it down for like 10 to 15 seconds and it'll come on. Sometimes I double tap it, it just comes on. So I'm not exactly sure what's going on with this thing. So this there's all kinds of lights turning on this truck. I think it's going to tell me it can't scan it because I didn't turn it on. So I'm just going to turn the ignition on. So now I think it will be able to scan the truck. It's making a lot of noise. I might have to abandon this. Wow. Okay, I'll try this again. I'll just go back. Now that the key's on, maybe it'll get into it. Didn't do things in the right order. So the key's got to be on first, and then you hit the auto scan. So now, okay, I don't want to do an auto scan on it because powertrain control module. Please start engine. Okay. New trouble codes. Turbocharger under boost active. That's the only code it has. That's interesting. Module. Power control module. Okay. New trouble code. Same thing, go back. Live data. Fuel temperature. I'm looking for manifold. Intake manifold, air temp, boost pressure sensor. It's not, it is changing. That's the thing that I think is the problem, because apparently they get plugged up with soot and they create problems. Oh, there's boost pressure. Guess we're not going to get a tremendous amount of boost sitting here idling. It is responding. So yeah, so it is working. So I'm just going to go ahead and pull out that sensor and see what it looks like. So A lot of problems with carbon soot buildup in the intakes on these trucks, on this eco diesel engine. So let's just head that way and see what happens. I just think it's weird that this thing doesn't have more codes in it when it's yeah, turbocharger under boost active. So that means the truck has turned that on. So let's just go after the obvious here. I like this custom bumper on this thing. And then it's been sprayed with bed liner, and the grill has been sprayed with bed liner. I like that look. Looks good. It's got a light in the bumper there. One thing, license plate's kind of hanging down low, but actually, oh, I see what they've done here. It's got a receiver, and the license plate is on a bracket that plugs into the receiver. That's kind of a neat idea. I like that. I detract. So I've got to remove this intake plenum here and this sound deadener. I've already pulled the plastic engine cover off the top of the engine. It just snaps into these stands here. There's one here, one over there, and then there's a little thing it slides into there and there. So, and underneath this thing right here, yeah, I believe is the map sensor, or the manifold pressure sensor, temperature sensor. That's got to come out and get cleaned. And then it's also used to have a EGR tube going in here. I'll be able to see that better when I get this off. That's been removed. This truck's got a delete kit on it. I'm gonna have to take this out in a couple pieces here. I still don't see that map sensor. I thought it was right here somewhere. Maybe that's on the newer models. Well, that's it right there, I think. Yeah, that's it right there. Yeah, so there's a connector right here. Maybe it'll be, see a little yellow tab you gotta pull out. And then you squeeze the connector down, tab on the connector. And it should come disconnected. I say should, it's not. Must be coming off now. That's hard to disconnect. I feel like I'm gonna break it. I'm just gonna take the sensor out. And that's the number 45 torque. So I guess I didn't, well, I don't need to take this part off now, obviously. That's, okay, there's that screw out. I'm just gonna put it right up here on the cowl.
I can pull this thing out of there. It's coming out quite easily. And it's jammed full of carbon. Okay, now maybe I can get this thing unplugged. So there's the yellow tab. I've got it pulled out. Maybe I just didn't pull it out far enough. Now I can push down on this. Seems to be releasing it. There we go. Okay, let's get a close-up look at this. So you see how caked up with soot that is? So that's preventing it from getting a proper temperature reading and a proper pressure reading. Let's get that cleaned up. Okay, there it is all cleaned up. So I end up using some carb cleaner and a bit of compressed air to blow it out. And I think that's as clean as it's going to get. So now I'm going to go on to the EGR port and take that off and have a look inside there. So there are two 10mm screws holding this on. So normally there would be a tube running across here, EGR tube, and oh yeah, it would connect right up here. See? So there's a tube that's been taken out. It would have gone from here to here. These are really tight. For the size of them. This no doubt has a gasket on it. It's coming off, it's volunteering. So maybe I'll be able to reuse the gasket. Hopefully if it's in one piece. And there we go. Gasket stayed on the intake. Give you a look inside here. See that? Just a black mess. You can sort of make out features of the inside of it, so it's probably got an 1/8 to a 1/4 inch of goo on it. So anyways, I'm gonna try a little bit of cleaning here of some sort and see what or just scrape at it a little bit and see what it looks like. Oh man. There's a lot of goo in there. I just wondered if clean, see? I don't know what the point of cleaning that would be, really. I guess stuff must fly around in there. It's gonna accumulate some more. I don't know why it would even build up in there like that. Because there's no exhaust gas coming back in there, which would be sooty. Right? Unless it just was never cleaned out after the delete was done. So I don't want to disturb that. Like I said, I don't want a whole bunch of carbon. And there's really no way to do it. I thought it would be it'd be more fluffy. But I don't want to get into that. I'm just going to put it back together. see if it stops limiting the boost. So this the company that owns this truck, they have a 2018. It was doing the same thing. The guy had it cleaned, and I had the sensor cleaned, and then I don't know, about 2 weeks later it started doing the same thing. He took it to it. He brought it here originally, but I couldn't scan it because it's a 2018 and I don't have the adapter to bypass the gatekeeper. I don't know what it's called, some kind of a security module on these trucks on 17 and up have this security module, so only dealers can get into the computer on these trucks. But there is a cable you can get to bypass that, and I've got it on order. I thought it would be here by now. I don't know what's going on, but anyways, that's just the way it is sometimes with deliveries. They don't get to you in a timely manner. I'm starting to wonder if I'm ever going to get the thing. Might have to go for a refund. Okay, I'm going to put this sensor back in. So that sensor should be able to do its job now. I just don't know for how long. That's just screwed into plastic, I think. This plastic. Well, you probably have nuts bonded into the plastic. Still, I don't want to make it too tight. It's got to be on there well enough now. There's a thing that this snaps onto down in there to locate it. That's in place now. There we go. Okay, let's see if it's happy now. Okay, it's still saying that if I go in here, so there's no trouble codes now. But there's still that little lightning bolt symbol. Why is it asking me that? It's got a live data. I should have wrote down some numbers from this. And it's not giving me any data. Maybe I have to go back. No support, no support, okay. I gotta go back here, back up. Turn the key on, back this thing out. Okay, I'll do the auto scan again. This thing, I thought it would save the information, but obviously it did not.
Okay. System select. Powertrain control module. Please start engine. Okay. Service electronic throttle control is still on the dash. Read trouble codes. Says that's still active, so I'm gonna see if I can clear the trouble codes. Okay, engine must not be running. Okay. Yes. Okay. Now I'll start the engine again. The lights are off. Read trouble codes. No trouble code. Okay, so the lightning bolt is off. So I guess it's out of limp mode. So I'm going to go for road test. Okay, so remember I said I should have recorded some of the data from before. Well, I did because I had the video on. So, but now what I'm noticing is, see this value right here? This is the boost pressure measured. So now when I depress the pedal, that value goes up instead of down. See? See, it's going up. Before it was going down. So we're getting boost now. Which, you know, obviously that's what the end goal was, to get the boost working again. I'm still a little bit confused as to why the only code it had was that the boost was disabled or turned off. So anyways, I guess it's a fix. I don't know how long term it's going to be, but I guess we'll find out. And I'm gonna look around on the internet and see if there's any long-term fixes for this problem. Otherwise, I'm just going to suggest these people buy one of those sensors and a tool to remove it, so that if they're out on the road somewhere out in the field working, they can just easily swap that thing out themselves, and they don't have to limp back to my shop or whatever. And then they can just just keep it in rotation, right? Have a clean one, put it in, and then clean it at the end of the day or whatever. And just keep swapping it out, so they can keep these stupid vehicles running. I'm just finding that with all this new technology, emission controls, it's just, to me, it's just job creation. The amount of money, resources that go into keeping these vehicles on the road, don't kid yourself, that's all creating emissions. People using cleaners to spray off soot buildup on sensors. That's an emission. So it might look good coming out the tailpipe when it's working, but all the other stuff that goes on around these vehicles to support them, to keep them on the road, is just counterintuitive. It's just you got guys running around with service trucks servicing heavy equipment that's breaking down, just like this truck does. And so where are we going here? We're fooling ourselves. I think if we keep things simple, keep them running, keep vehicles running for long periods of time, reliably, that's going to go a long way to saving the environment. So anyways, that's my little rant on the environmental issues with vehicles. So we fixed this truck for now. It's going to be back. It's gonna happen again. I'm quite sure of that. So anyways, thanks for watching. See me next time. Thanks.